Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Today we are playing SilentNick's Totem Shaman on the Wild Mode ladder. Now SilentNick is a good friend of mine on Twitter, frequently coming out with great off-meta decks. If you have any questions about this deck, please contact him on Twitter or please leave a comment in the comments section below this video and I'm sure he will respond. So Totem Shaman, this is different to anything that I've played over the last few months, and it's certainly a fun deck. You could fool your opponent into thinking you are some kind of overload shaman, an aggressive overload shaman with Tunnel Trog and Totem Golem, and then your opponent gets really scared and they start overcommitting into killing a 3 health Tunnel Trog because they're afraid of the attack buffs that it can get. And then you just play lots of totems, you buff your totems, you replicate your totems, you then bloodlust the face and win the game. I think that is a rough summary of how you would go about playing this deck. Please forgive the misplays in this video. This playstyle for this deck is something that I'm not entirely familiar with or well practiced with. What you are watching in this video are essentially the first few games that I played with this deck. So please forgive the misplays. I call it a learning process. There are some challenging decisions that you have to make with this deck, like when do you commit your buffs to your totems or to your board? Do you hold back a buff for another couple of turns so you can develop a little bit more? There are things like that to consider. And so a bit of strategizing, a bit of thinking ahead is certainly needed. But all in all, this is a really fun deck to play, and SilentNick hit legend with this deck, and he has posted on Twitter all about it, talking about the different opponents he was facing and beating. So he was beating meta decks with this off-meta deck. Okay, let's have a look at our first game with this deck, and we are taking on a mage. Now at this rank on the diamond ladder, it's probably going to be a Secrets Mage, right? And to me, that is the deck to beat, for sure. Secrets Mage is probably, at this point in time, the most consistent tier 1 deck out there in the wild meta. Games are relatively quick. And aggression is consistent in terms of what they can pump out with minion pressure and spells going face. So here I coined out a totem, the evil totem. Why did I do that? It's so I wouldn't be overloaded if I'd coined out the Totem Golem and then I felt like I may have had nothing to do, perhaps. On my turn 2, overloaded by 1 mana. So with this play here, I feel like I can get a bit of a wider board. I actually don't know if this play was correct or not. Perhaps coining out Totem Golem was the better play, because then I could have traded with a Mad Scientist and still have something left on the board. But here the opponent is committed to trading and pinging, so using up 2 mana here to ping. Floating 1 mana perhaps. Yep, floating 1 mana. So maybe my play was okay, I don't know. SilentNick, if you're watching this, did I do this correctly? And also note that the evil totem is still on the board. It has not been removed. It is now going to be generating for me lackeys every single turn. The value of that is not to be understated. And again, play a minion, commit 2 mana to a ping. That is really significant for us. Forcing our opponent to ping rather than to develop stuff onto the board. Or to develop more secrets, for instance. On wings of evil. Testing for secrets is tricky. I like the Proto Drake. It's very expensive. We may never play it. But I quite like it. We're happy just to develop now. we are aware of Flame Ward. So we may just hang back for a bit. We may not even hit the face for a while. We may just hang back, develop and buff a board, and then eventually start going face. Oh look, there's Silent Nick. Just popped up on a notification there. And the Cloud Prince hits a minion and not the face. That's when you know that you've got the Secret Mage in trouble. When they are using their battle cry damage to kill your minions and not to hit your face. So, testing for counterspell. It is counterspell. I may have done that the wrong way around though. I think I would have preferred to have buffed my board, my totems. And so perhaps I should have given up the landslide instead. Yeah, I think I got that wrong. But it's okay. I'm also playing left-handed. So please forgive me on that front. My plays are slower than usual. I'm just letting my right hand, my right arm recover from a little bit of pain that I've had over the last couple of weeks. So I've got a left-handed vertical mouse that I'm using just to alleviate the strain on my right hand and right arm. So my plays are slower because I am right-handed normally and not left-handed, so it is a bit harder. So having to coordinate my left hand and think about my plays is certainly not easy. Ooh, nice achievement. So right now, I'm just considering buffing this Manatide Totem. I'd like the card draw, I think. Although, pondering the card draw, I also realise that I'm going to be putting 3 new cards into my hand every single turn. 2 Manatide Totems and 1 Evil Totem. So I'm going to start overdrawing very shortly. And maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe I should not have buffed the Manatide Totem. I don't know. Okay. But we do have a Bloodlust in hand, so if we start overdrawing, does it even matter? As long as we can still maintain enough of a board to be able to kill the mage in the end, does it matter if we lose a few cards in the process? From nothing. Tidal Wave I'm actually going to take as an emergency get out of jail card in case we get to a point where I'm about to die. It could just save us, right? I mean, it's a Secrets Mage. That's a nice entrance. But yeah, it's a Secrets Mage. Damage can come out of nowhere. Sometimes. So, in the interest of not milling myself and overdrawing, I'm going to evolve the totem. Oh, that's rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. Let's do that again. Ooh. Well, that's better. Ooh, another achievement. So a very convoluted series of plays there on that turn. Really was taking my time, perhaps overthinking things. But we have a buffed board. What once was cloudy shall become clear. And I don't think card draw is going to help the mage here. We've outpaced them.
I'm late. I'm late.
Or maybe not.
I'm late.
Maybe not.
I'll show them.
There are now 4 minions on that board, and I'm actually quite scared of them because I'm going to assume that one of those secrets is Iceblock. If it's Iceblock, we do also have to clear the board. Okay, 3 secrets in play. One of those is definitely Iceblock. And probably Flame Ward too. So if Flame Ward is in play, we... Oh, it's not Flame Ward. How interesting. Okay. So, We can pop the block here. Put them to 1. And that was... Did I misplay there? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. We're ahead. We're massively ahead. They can't kill us with this health total. Or maybe they can? No. No, they can't. Okay. Sweet win over the mage there.
Back to the boy.
Your tour ends here.
However, what happens when a mage has a 2 Iceblocks? That's right. In this game, we'd got rid of the first Iceblock, and we were quite happy about that, thinking, okay, if they don't have a fireball here, well, they've already used 2 fireballs, so if there are no more fireballs to come, maybe we'll be okay. We've seen 1 Cloud Prince get used, so a lot of their burst damage that can go face is gone. And this mage plays Eater of Secrets. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But yes, we get the bad news now that this is the second Iceblock. Is it normal for Secrets Mage to play 2 Iceblocks? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. This just seems like a very greedy list. Although in the mirror matchup against another Secrets Mage, I can see how 2 Iceblocks would be really helpful. It's just that extra bit of survivability, I guess. But they also play Eater of Secrets, so exceptionally greedy.
On the wings of evil.
And we just go through the motions here, and we're just hoping that they do not draw any kind of burn on the next turn. 2 fireballs gone, 1 cloud prince gone. Bloody hell, rigged Faire game. Well, now they probably draw the burn, right? Yeah, 2nd cloud prince, of course, of course. Yeah, 2 Iceblocks, very hard to beat.
Vash versus Gerash.
Okay. So after facing what was a stream of mages, thankfully we returned to some level of, I'll call it normality. A warrior. That's nice to see. Refreshing to see. Happy to see a warrior rather than another mage. Anyway. We've
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
got a pirate warrior on our hands here. Good old Patches, good to see him.
Who's up for an adventure?
Now we have 2 copies of Landslide in this deck, 1 in hand currently, so that should give us a good advantage against the warrior. Getting a dormant minion there is not what I wanted at all. I wanted something I could attack with and trade with. So that's really quite unfortunate. Ooh, Tunnel Troll. So this is a nice board state. We're actually overpowering him here. Wow. Ignores the Tunnel Trog. I was expecting a hero power and a double trade into the Trog, but clearly not. Clearly not. Skybarge has 5 health. But thankfully for us, Landslide doing a good job there. And now we have the board. We have control. This feels really good. At this point, we're not a Totem Shaman, we are an overload aggressive Shaman. But this is how you can fool your opponent. Perhaps they think we're an overload Shaman, and they don't know what is to come. So the element of surprise, possibly, on our side here. Double trade here seems like something we have to do, unfortunately. I could have played Farsight. See if I could get something to help, but I think this is fine. Opponent now has to make a choice. Which of these totems are they going to kill? The Evil Totem or the Manatide Totem? Which is more dangerous? Which is more concerning? That is the question. That is an interesting committal of the ship's cannon. No pirates were played on that turn to go with the cannon. I find that strange. Wouldn't you hold that back? Especially after you draw cards, wouldn't you hold back the cannon until you get more pirates and then play them all together? Or are you so desperate just to get something on the board here? In the hopes that I can't kill the cannon because my Evil Totem only has 2 attack. Well, unfortunately for the warrior, we can kill it. And the stream of lackeys is going to continue now for us. This is good news. So now the opponent has an idea of what we actually are. The Tunnel Trog is just there as a decoy. We are actually a totem-centric deck. And we want to replicate these totems, buff these totems, and then bloodlust these totems and win the game. That is what we want to do. Although it doesn't have to just be totems that we replicate and go wide with.
Your head isn't as empty as it looks.
Going wide with these lackeys is still an entirely viable strategy, because you can still bloodlust the lackeys and go face and win the game. And again, please excuse the slowness of my playing here. I am left-handed. This is a lot more difficult for me than it normally would be. Alright. So, a Bloodlust would be a very good draw anytime soon. Oh, that's unfortunate. No parrot gets summoned. Oh dear, oh dear. Ooh, that's nice. I can't spot any kind of lethal here. So what I'll do is I'll just develop a Goliath, I think. I think that's fine, right? And when you're making these trades, you want to trade the stuff in that's not totems, right? Because it's your totems that get buffed. So the Searing Totem, thankfully remembered not to trade that in, because on a future turn, if it stays alive on the board, there is a potential to buff it. So it's little things like that that sort of come to mind, right? That you've got to be wary of. And that has to be the saddest Leroy ever. Wow. Now the opponent thinks they're alive, because there's only 7 damage on board, but now there's a lot more damage coming their way. And there we go. So, a dominant performance against Pirate Warrior.
Ladies
versus Jam.
Okay, heading into our next game.
Your time ends.
And we've managed to climb from Diamond Rank 8 to Diamond Rank 4. And we have a really awesome start here with the Tunnel Trog. If we can pick up an Overload minion, yes we do, that is great. That is beautiful. And that is even better. Okay, here we go. So turn 1 Tunnel Trog into turn 2 Totem Golem. What more could I ask for? And our opponent, interesting, is not a Secrets Mage. It's a Quest Mage. I thought Quest Mages had died out. Interesting to see this Quest Mage being played at Diamond 4. I guess Quest Mage is still a good deck. Is that correct? I wouldn't know because I've not faced one for quite some time. So what are we afraid of? We have this amazing start. All of this great Overload synergy. What are we afraid of? Well, we're afraid of early quest completion. Despite the quest getting nerfed, Quest Mage was still able to complete the quest quite quickly. And then still get those giants on board and still kill you. And that's what we're scared of. We are scared of freeze effects, allowing them to complete the quest very quickly. More freeze effects and then giants on board with the quest complete, and there's nothing we can do. So we have to kill them before quest completion. Although looking at the cards being played here, is this a Reno Quest Mage, perhaps? In which case, does that buy us a little bit more time? Maybe? Do we have to worry about Reno on 6? Does that mean we have to kill them before turn 6? But if they're playing a Reno deck, are things just going to be a little bit slower for them because they're running single copies of cards, so we are under less pressure from quest completion early on? Okay, that is Iceblock, and oh look, Primordial Glyph gave them the Iceblock, of course. Well, what do you have here? 5 mana. Magic Trick. Okay. I find the ping interesting. What is that setting up? Another Iceblock from Magic Trick. Of course. Always lucky. I don't even know if playing the Goliath was at all needed. But if there's some ridiculous AoE that clears the board, at least the Goliath will put stuff onto the board when it dies. I don't know. Yeah. That feels really, really good, beating a Quest Mage. Okay, next game is against a Rogue, so I think we need to be prepared for an aggressive matchup. But once again, look, we have the Dream, we have Tunnel Trog, we have Totem Golem. Bloodlust way too early. Although, if we can chip away at their face using the Trog and the Golem, do enough early chip damage, maybe all we'll need in the mid-game is 2 or 3 minions on board, and maybe Bloodlust will be enough to just finish the game there and then. Okay, let's see what kind of a response they have to the Tunnel Trog. It is amazing how much work the Tunnel Trog has been doing for me in my games. It's almost as if my totem-centric cards, like Totemic Reflection, like the Grand Totem... Oh, bloody hell, what the hell is that? It's a Pogo-Hopper. Oh, interesting. What was I saying? Yeah, it's as if my totem-centric cards, like Totemic Reflection, Grand Totem, it's as if they are almost not needed in some games. In some games like this, where the Trog, the Totem Golem, the Overload effects just go to town on your opponent's face and kill them. What a fascinating game this is. Kudos to my opponent. Bravo to my opponent for Pogo-Hopper. Wow. And it looks like we have to trade into that. Amazing. This Pogo-Hopper Rogue has done what earlier opponents could not do, and that was beat the Tunnel Trog, Totem Golem, turn 1, turn 2 combo. They forced me to trade. Now, what would have happened if I'd not traded? If I just ignored it? They would have returned it to hand again, right? And played it again. And we'd be sad. So, anyway, let's just build a board. We'll take the Reflection, I think. Reflection will be good, assuming the evil totem survives. So we'll be overloaded for 1 next turn, just 4 mana to play with. So I'm thinking Reflection and Lackey. Oh wow, that's a smart play. I mean, I'm just going to replay it, right? I'm just going to replay it. So what does that accomplish in the grand scheme of things? Okay, let's change our plan then. We won't play the Lackey, we will just play the Trog again. And why not commit this now? It's fine. It means we push a lot of damage. It also means if they need to put their face into that to clear it, they take another 5. So I think it was good to commit the Totemic Surge on that turn. So our opponent started off incredibly strong with Pogo-Hopper. And now, do they have more Pogo-Hoppers? Ooh, Vanish. Not seen that card played for ages. But once again, I'm just going to play this stuff all over again. The pressure will still be on. If they kill the Goliath, we have the Bloodlust, so it's all good.
Unity, precision, perfection.
And that is absolutely fine. That is fine too. They want the trade into the Ziliax, which I will not give them. So this Lackey means they don't get the healing, because there's no trade, which is really cute. So I guess right now I just need to place stuff, build a wide board, and we just set up for the Bloodlust. I could use the Wind Fury this turn, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep it as a surprise. I think this is absolutely fine. We build as a wider board as we can, hopefully guaranteeing that some stuff will survive. And next turn we have Wind Fury, we have Bloodlust. We just win the game next turn, right? No amount of Pogo-Hoppers can save our opponent now. Which is a shame, because I'd quite like to see more Pogo-Hoppers. His deck just absolutely fascinates me. Jesse Pinkman. Cool name. Wow, and pass. Oh, wow. They had nothing. They knew the inevitable was coming. But I didn't use the Wind Fury. I thought I'd spare them the agony. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, SilentNick's Totem Shaman. Really fun deck to play, different to anything that I've been playing over the last few months, and therefore a deck that has been very refreshing for me to play. So, SilentNick got legend with this. It only costs 6,300 dust. Comparative to a lot of the control decks that I've been playing recently, that is incredibly cheap. So if you're looking for a cheap deck that is capable of hitting legend, then I would absolutely recommend this deck for sure. Looking back at SilentNick's post on Twitter, he mentions that with this Totem Shaman deck, he had an unbelievable run from Diamond 5 with just 3 losses. And that was his run to legend. And he faced mostly Secrets Mages, Reno and Big Priest, Dark Glare and Reno Locks and Odd Paladin. So he was facing the entire gambit of tier 1 meta decks. And he was beating them with just 3 losses from Diamond 5 to legend. How incredible is that? So if you've got questions, please, by all means, leave them in the comments section below, and I'm sure SilentNick will respond and get back to you. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay safe, please look after yourselves, and please be good to one another. And I will see you all again very soon, as always, for more Wild Mode fun.